It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
The Book of Eli, man.
Eli Man.
No, the Book of Eli, comma, man.
I just saw that movie not too long ago.
So did I. You know, it was on. I had it on my Netflix queue, and then it was on demand. So I watched it on demand, thinking, well, I don't want to wait a week to get a DVD.
Did you take it off your queue, or are they going to send it to you?
I did. I took it off my queue.
That's good thinking.
You know, that's what you do when you watch an on-demand movie.
Unless it's not in your queue.
Got it. But why would you put it in your queue then if you've seen it?
So, anyways,
okay.
I don't know if I cared that much for it.
You didn't like the Book of Eli.
I didn't look at the Book of Eli. I couldn't read it. But the movie,
you kind of had to feel around for that movie. I couldn't really read it.
It was a feel-good kind of movie.
Yes, well, not really.
No.
Yeah, there's a couple things I guess I don't understand about this movie, and you've kind of mentioned to me that perhaps this Eli chap was a blind man, but your only piece of evidence with that was that
Spoiler alert.
the Bible that he was carrying was in Braille.
Braille, right. See, here's the thing. In this movie, nothing happens really during the whole movie. Eli, he has a book, all right, which you don't see for the first half of the movie, but you finally see.
Yeah.
You finally see the book, and he was told by a phantom voice, take this west.
That was God.
They don't say for sure it was God. It could be anything. It could be a ghost.
Okay.
So they say, take it west. Now I ask you, if they tell you to go west, why would you just go?
See, it sounds like maybe a Mormon thing.
You think he'd want him to go to Utah?
Well, he went west, and he had a book.
Where did he start off?
The border of Illinois and Missouri?
Really?
I don't know. This is kind of a post-apocalyptic, something happened that was really bad. And there's a lot of, he's traveling basically the roads.
And you got to wear sunglasses.
Yeah.
Because the sun will blind you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and the sun never sets on a badass or people in this movie.
No.
So, and then he's going along, and there's these thieves that they just go around and they just kill people and steal their stuff.
Yeah, like just the road people.
The road people.
Yeah.
So he finds some, and you find out that this Eli, he is a badass.
Oh, he is.
He pulls his sword out. This thing is a perfect zombie killing tool.
By the way, this is Denzel Washington, so it makes it even better.
Pulled this thing out, and he can kill 15 people in half a second.
He's going to be on our zombie team, this Eli guy.
Yeah, not Denzel, but Eli.
Yes.
Not Alvarez, but Eli in the movie.
Yes.
So he's killing everything, you know. And then he finally goes to this town. And here's what really got me. I didn't understand this. Maybe you did, because you're an intelligent man.
Sure, they say that sometimes.
Everyone's like, check his hands. Like, check his hands.
Yeah, what's wrong with his hands?
And they're like, oh no, he's okay, he's fine. But you never see anybody that's like an alien or something that would have messed up hands. The whole movie. Right? Or did I fall asleep?
No, I mean, that's what I got too. I didn't really, that was never explained.
So he's going along, you know, he goes to this town, he says, I need something recharged.
Yes, his iPod.
Was it his iPod?
It was his iPod.
All right. And they're like, it's going to cost you, and he starts pulling out like breadcrumbs, and they pay in like a different currency back then.
Yeah.
So he's pulling out random stuff. He's like, here's this, and so eventually he goes across the street, and there was people there.
Yeah.
Corrupt people. Coincidentally, across the street.
This is like the lawless Old West almost. Like these people were, this kind of band of robbers who were looking for this particular book. Remember?
Right, yeah. They were all, they said, because the guy said, go find me the book. And they don't come back with this big pile of books. He said, nope, that's not it.
It was Gary Oldman, too.
Gary Coleman.
Oh, Gary Oldman.
It didn't matter anyways, because Eli killed them all.
Yeah, he was, with that blade, man. It was like a machete, but it was almost like He-Man's sword.
So they wanted Eli to join them.
Yeah, because he was such a badass.
Because he was such a badass. They had no idea he had a book.
Yeah.
They wanted. So they sent this girl from that 70s show, Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
And said, here, I want you to go sleep with him, and that way he'll stay with us. But he wouldn't sleep with her.
No.
Wouldn't do it. I think it's because she was too young.
I don't know. I think he was just as a man. He was on a mission. He didn't have time for this kind of stuff.
Well, why do you have time to stay there overnight?
You don't want to be on the road at night with these people.
You know what, though? He wasn't there in the morning. So who knows when he left?
Yeah, he went to go get his iPod back.
He did, yeah. He went to go get his iPod. But here was the weird part, though. They said, when he went to take his iPod, they're like, well, it's going to take a couple hours. That's it.
Typical Mac or Apple product, right?
Anyways, he's like, I'm going to wait right here. I'm going to wait. And he was pretty stern about it. He was like, no, I'm waiting. He got really thirsty. He found out they had water across the street, and he was thirsty.
Yeah.
And while waiting for water, he decided to kill about 50 people.
Well, they attacked him. I mean, he was self-defense.
He was being really respectful, too.
He warned them.
Yeah, he just said, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean no trouble. I'm going to leave now. And they said, no, you're not. And he said, well, I'm going to kill you then. And he said, I'm going to cut your hand off if you touch me again.
Yeah.
And let it be known. Cut his hand off.
It's very kind of a bloody movie. Not recommended for children. So he leaves. He leaves town. But this Mila Kunis character, so she decides to follow Eli. And they get into some adventures. But this Oldman guy, he really wants a Bible. That's what he's looking for. That's that book. And Eli just happens to have a Bible because this Mila Kunis, I don't remember her name, saw this book.
And it was a big book, too. It was, I mean, like,
well, it wasn't Braille. I mean, Braille takes up more space.
Wait, we didn't get to that part yet.
We did. We talked about how the book was Braille.
We did?
In the beginning. Because we
Where
thought it
was
was
I?
blind. You were sitting right there. I think you were. I mean, so this turns into Mad Max, like some kind of road warrior stuff. This Gary Oldman character sends his entire posse, and they're the only people who have vehicles. I mean, somehow they have gasoline and internal combustion engines after the apocalypse, and they try to hunt down this Eli and his stepdaughter. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
They stop one night in a cave.
Yeah.
And she's getting really romantic-ish with him. She's kind of like, hey, I'm gonna sit by the fire with you, and he falls asleep. Maybe he looks like he's asleep, kind of like how blind people don't really use their eyes. They put sunglasses on. You don't know if they're sleeping or not.
I put sunglasses on.
And you could be sleeping without people knowing.
Well, I'm driving. It's not very safe, is it?
The guy almost hit us today.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't have sunglasses on.
We almost didn't have episode 2 today, guys. We're in episode 3.5.
4. I don't know what episode.
What episode is this?
Right.
We almost died.
Yeah, and then he's falling asleep, and she goes through his bag to go find this Bible, the book. She didn't really know what the book was. Because, see, here's the thing. This was 30, 40 years after the apocalypse. So anybody that was younger than 40 didn't know what a Bible was. They never heard of it. Never heard of it. So only a couple people like Gary Oldman and then one other guy and Eli knew what a Bible was.
Yes.
They didn't know what they were looking for.
Yes.
Poor Eli and this girl. They go to a house in the middle of nowhere. It looked like farmland, and they were going west. So I'm not sure. Did Nevada have farmland 30 years after now?
It wasn't farmland though. It was
dry.
It was like
a lot of farms are dry.
It's like Oklahoma in the 1920s. It was like a big dust bowl.
All right, so let's say they were in Oklahoma.
No,
they were kind of up with some hicks, though.
I think they might have been a little bit further west, but closer.
Anyways, you meet these characters that own the house, and they're real cool. They're fun characters.
They're great people.
Oh, they're funny. They're like, we're going to kill these sons of guns, and they have trap doors, booty traps, and everything.
Booty traps. That's what I said.
Right. So, I know it was good. I mean, there was a good action scene there. A lot of gunshots. These people looking for the book, they pulled out this gun. It was like a war, automatic cannon.
It was like one of those Gatling guns. But okay, nothing. The Bibles didn't survive the apocalypse, but the 1860s Gatling guns did apparently. That's what they pulled out.
So eventually, Eli decides to say, "Hey, you know what? You guys want the book? Take the book. I don't care."
That's right.
So they take the book. They find it. It's behind the TV, in the TV. And they take it, and then Denzel gets shot. Eli gets shot. In the chest, in the belly area.
Almost a death kill. Did that make sense? Death kill?
They get to San Francisco, actually, Alcatraz.
Yeah, Alcatraz.
And this is really cool, though. They showed the Golden Gate Bridge all blown up.
Yeah.
It was missing the middle. It was all jacked up. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because it looked really neat.
Apocalypse, man.
They take a boat, I guess, to Alcatraz, right? I remember that.
They had some kind of a dinghy.
Okay, so they take a dinghy to Alcatraz. They get into Alcatraz, and they're like, "Oh my, I'm glad you're here." But they question him a lot at first.
It's Malcolm McDowell. He's the leader of Alcatraz, which is kind of like, You don't remember this?
I don't know that guy. I don't know his name.
He's from the Clockwork Orange.
That's an old movie.
Okay, he's from
Book of Eli.
He was. I can't remember what. I know. He's
All right.
from
Anyways, let's not worry about it. And basically, it's like a library that takes books that are surviving or anything that remains of the books.
Yes, it's
and
an archive of sorts.
Right, and they reprint them so they can have books because books are everything.
Because if Alexandria burns, you want to repopulate the library with the
Who is
books.
she? Is she Mr. Burns' wife?
So Alexandria, Egypt, back in like the prehistory time.
Wait, is her name Alexandria Burns or Alexandria, Egypt?
This is a place of antiquity.
I thought maybe it's like Queen Alexandria of Egypt.
You mean Alexander the Great?
And they're like, I got this King James Bible. And everyone's like, oh, really? But we
King
know
James
that.
Bible.
So at the time, I thought, he still has it. He must have gave that guy a fake book.
Because the guy opened it up, he's like, oh, no.
But here's the thing, though. He had a really hard time opening it. Like a really hard time. But Eli didn't. Eli would just pop that thing right open. So I'm wondering maybe that these guys that tried opening it, Gary Oldman character, maybe something's wrong with his hands. Maybe like he didn't have like, you know what I'm saying?
Is that why I check your hands?
Maybe because he couldn't open it with his hands. He had to get some tool and like pry it open.
Well, because I think it was one of those locked latches.
Well, I never saw Eli with a key ever.
Well, I don't have any explanation.
Maybe Eli had keys for fingers. I didn't look at his hands that close. Here's the thing, because you find out this book's in Braille.
Yeah, Gary Oldman finds out the hard way.
But at first I saw it, I was kind of like sitting back, kind of like this, you know,
Yeah, I'm looking.
drinking some Two Brothers beer and just sitting back. And I was looking, I said, it's blank. I said, he pulled a fast one on him and gave him a blank book.
Even if you have an HD TV like you do here, you still can't really see the Braille because it looks like a blank piece of paper until you get really close up because it's just raised pieces.
Right, and they don't make Braille television, so you couldn't
they
even...
don't.
So I thought, he pulled a fast one. And then he lays down in this chair, and he's like, let me tell you the story of the Bible. And he goes through the whole thing. He memorized the book because Mila Kunis' character said, you read this every day? Like, don't you get bored? He's like, no, this is like, this is the Bible. You can't get bored of the Bible. Jesus rocks, man.
Yeah.
He didn't really say that, but he was getting to that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, he was very, yeah.
So he goes through and reads the whole Bible. Coincidentally, right when he's done, he dies.
It's just in the nick of time.
But see, here's my problem with that. He got shot somewhere, like you said, around Oklahoma, Dust Bowl-ish type.
Well, no, I'm thinking it's more like maybe northern Arizona. I don't know.
All right, fine.
Utah?
I don't
Could have
care.
been Utah.
I don't care. They weren't walking anymore. They had a vehicle. So they got probably to California. Even if it was 8 hours, they still had to get to Alcatraz, get in there, and I'm telling you, the stacks of paper on that table, that was like 500 pages high, all over the table. There's no way any shot that would have killed him, he would have been able to survive that long. It's not possible.
Well, maybe
he was a badass, though. But
people have been... Lincoln survived a couple of hours after he was shot in the head.
this is not a couple hours. This was like a
He
week.
could have recited the Gettysburg Address.
He didn't, did he?
I don't think so. I wasn't there.
But anyways, how many stars would you give the Book of Eliash?
I liked the Book of Eli. I would probably give it 3 3/4 stars out of 5.
Really? 3/4?
Maybe 4. 4 quarters. 3 4/4 stars.
Why? Why? I mean,
because it wasn't directed by Clint Eastwood. I had Denzel Washington in it. I have a man crush on Denzel Washington.
give it like just a solid 3
3
out of 5.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it was very entertaining. I was into the whole movie. I just felt like it was missing a lot in the plot. The hands, I missed
you
that.
gotta explain the hands next time, Denzel.
He didn't direct it, did he?
Well, I'm just saying, you got more connections than I do. Make a suggestion, Denzel. And if you fans have any idea of what this hands thing means, by all means, please comment on our Facebook page, The 2 Cent Show.
Yeah, it's got a picture of like 2 pennies
2
on
pennies,
it.
2 cents.
But they're pennies though. So that's how you know. Because I think a cent could be like a nickel, right? Like, what
or
does cent
something
mean?
that smells like
A skunk?
2 cents, like
A skunk? Or like biking and not changing your clothes?